Hello, League. Welcome back. It's another preview episode, week 3. This season is flying by. If you don't have a win by now, you probably need one this week. And with that, I say, welcome week 3. We're here. We're expecting big things from a lot of teams. So without further ado, let's get into my projections for the week. First, I'm going to start off with a little Sunday cookout versus Tucker in the waistband. Tom Gorman versus Kyle Karp, a matchup of two 1-1 teams. Tom in 7th, Kyle in 3rd. Now, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of big players in this game. Jalen Waddle, Dalvin Cook, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, Kyler Murray. A lot of guys on both sides here. Currently, Gorman is projected to win 98-94. I'm going to actually pick Kyle to win. I like his matchups a little bit more than Tom's. I don't, love – he's starting Jahan Dotson and he's starting Adam Thielen, who have been a little slow. Well, Adam Thielen has at least been a little slow. Dotson, I'm not sure you're going to get what you want out of him against that Philly defense. But Tom is a team capable of putting up 98. Yahoo thinks he's going to win. I'm siding with Kyle on this one. So, again, I have Kyle winning this one. I do think within, an 8-point margin. That matchup is now followed up with a matchup of number 1 placed Chiquita Banana, Luke Bonmo, against the Carter John Tui. Tui 1-1, currently in 9th. As I said, Luke 2-0, currently in 1st. And Luke is favored to win 98-86. That's a pretty substantial gap. I do have to say I agree with Yahoo on this one. I think Luke is able to beat Mr. Tui. I don't love Tui's receivers right now. Keenan Allen's banged up. Allen Lazard is banged up. DeAndre Swift could have 100 points this week. But I like Luke's matchup a little bit more. I think Saquon against the Cowboys is going to be a big-time performance. I think Diggs and Josh Allen, I haven't seen him stopped yet. So I'm not picking against Luke until he loses. It's not a knock on Tui's team. I just think Tui's banged up right now, and it's a tough matchup for him. So I'm going to say Luke wins this one by maybe about 10 points or so. Following up that matchup, we have African Americans and Mark, Andy Unchained, versus Skip Kyle, Mark Russell. Andy needs a win. You can't beat around the bush here, folks. Andy needs a win. Do I think he gets it this week? Yahoo doesn't. And I'll be honest, neither do I. Neither do I, Andy. Look, I think Russell is projected for 102. He's in 4th place. African Americans, Mark, Andy, 0-2. He's in 11th place. Russell doesn't need the win as bad as Andy. But I will say, Mike Russell, looking back, when he looks back at his season, is going to say, wow, that's a game I really wanted to win. I was favorited. I had some very favorable matchups. Notably, Amon-Ra St. Brown against the Vikings secondary. That could be 30 points. Austin Eckler against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That needs to be over 10 points. Michael Carter against Cincinnati, I think, is a very favorable matchup as well for probably the weakest spot on his team. I think Russell is primed to put up a huge week this week. Devontae Adams against Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is atrocious. Skinny Kyle, Pat Mahomes going at Indy. I mean, my God, it's a brutal matchup week for Andy. I do think Andrew bounces back this week. I think DK Metcalf finally has a decent week. I think Mike Williams has another solid week. And I think Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara even, Mark Andrews, all have fine weeks. I think Andrew puts up, more than 65 or whatever he's, not surpassed yet this season. But I just think Russell is primed for 110, 115-point week. So with that, I will take Skinny Kyle, Mike Russell to win, and Andrew to lose. The next matchup we move to is a battle of two 1-1 teams. Pat McCann's Gatsby Graduation Pants versus Salvatore Agugliero's Sally Stubbs. Both teams, like I said, 1-1. Pat in 6th, Sal in 8th. Now, I'll be honest. Yahoo has Pat projected to win 103.5 to 97-ish. I really, really like Pat's matchups this week. I think David Montgomery is going to have a good week. They don't throw the ball. James Robinson is going to have a good week against the Chargers. I like Darren Waller against Tennessee. I like Lamar Jackson against New England. I think it's a really favorable matchup for him. Sal, I'm not going to say I hate the matchups. I don't hate them. I just like Pat's a little bit more. I think it's a close game. I think it's within 4 or 5 points. But give me Pat McCann finding a way to squeak out a win against Salvatore the Dinosaur. And the last matchup that I can comment on, Mooneyshot versus the Chosen One. Dylan is currently projected to win by 11 points, 99 to 88. Dylan is 1-1, while Christopher Gazzaro is 0-2. I think it's a brutal week for Gaz again. I think the matchups are just not in his favor. I think Najee Harris against Cleveland is not ideal. Darnell Mooney, they don't throw the ball. Jacoby Myers against Baltimore, yeah, it's not a bad matchup, but I mean, again, it's just I don't trust Mac Jones. Brady hasn't shown me anything yet. Kyle Pitts, I mean, enough. You don't even need me to comment. I do think there is a turnaround coming for Mr. Pitts, though. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I think Mr. Pitts is going to have his day eventually. But Dylan's matchups to me are just too favorable. Derrick Henry going against Las Vegas, I kind of like. Nick Chubb going against Pittsburgh. While they have a good defense, Nick Chubb has proven to be a top 5 running back. Hollywood Brown against the Rams, high-scoring game. Michael Pittman against Kansas City. They're going to be losing. They're going to be able to throw the ball. I think Dylan's team is in too good of a position right now, so I'm going to side with Yahoo on this one. I think Dylan wins by 10-plus points. I'm sorry, Christopher. And the last matchup is myself versus Matt Stokes. I can't comment on it because I'm playing in the game. It's 50-50 per Yahoo. I think that's fair. I think we're both projected for 99 points. Stokes is looking for a bounce back. He's got a couple pretty nice matchups. I think I have a few pretty decent matchups. Only guy going tonight is Kareem Hunt. So with that being said, one more time. I went 2-3 last week. I'm 5-5 on the year, so I'm not any good at this. I'm going to pick the winners and losers. Winning the Kyle Gorman matchup, I have Kyle. Winning the Luke Tui matchup, I have Luke. Winning the Russell Andrew matchup, I have Russell. Winning the Pat Sal matchup, I have Pat. And winning the Dylan Gaz matchup, I have Dylan. Congratulations to everybody. My only play of the night is Cleveland money line. I know it's a sucker bet. I know you got to lay a lot of wood, but I just don't think Cleveland loses tonight. I think Mitch Trubisky is ass. He's ass. He's not good. And I personally think it's Cleveland's day to bounce back. They lost an improbable game, and I just don't see it happening again. And I'm gonna say Cleveland money line. Thanks for tuning in. See you all on Tuesday, and good luck.